Nice. Hello and welcome to another Dig on Twitch. Back with Maverick with a few changes this time to the main deck. Just slight changes, but changes nevertheless, so let's go through them. I've actually gone down to 22 lands from 23, cutting one Verdant, so just one fetch land, going down to 7 fetch lands in total, and actually cutting it for a Sylvan Library. So Sylvan Library, of course, allows me to dig a little bit deeper, to find extra lands if I really need them. Is really good in the grindy matchups, which I've been finding as of late online to be a pretty big thing, which is nice. And just to sort of be able to take full advantage of Sylvan Library, I've kept Batterskull in the main deck, adding a third Stoneforge Mystic, just so that I do have a pretty good chance of being able to deploy this Batterskull pretty early. Guy's Cradle acting as a way to actually cast the Batterskull as well, outside of Stoneforge Mystic, because I know in decks like Death and Taxes, sometimes if you search up a turn 2 Batterskull and the Stoneforge gets taken off the board, the Batterskull is a little bit dead in hand, so it's nice to have the out of Cradle, or of course another Stoneforge Mystic to actually get it online. Sideboard, I've just added in a Nihil Spellbomb. I just wanted one more piece of graveyard hate. We have the Screws in the main, which is nice, but I just wanted a turn 1 interactive spell that could, of course, also draw me a card, which is really nice. Fairy Macabre, or Macabre is another pretty good tool, which could be used as well. We don't have Recruiter of the Guard in this list, of course, so we can't actually search it out. We can't search out Spellbomb, but it is a turn 1 hate piece that can actually be cycled as well, which is really nice. We've also added in Gideon and Assassin's Trophy. Gideon for the longer matchups, and Assassin's Trophy to kind of be an answer all for any sort of threats. It might be other equipment, it could be a Jason Mind Sculptor, it could just be a lonely threat that we really want to get rid of. So pretty happy with that. So we pretty much have the ramp spells here. We have the Death and Taxes-esque part of the deck here, with the Stoneforge package. We have here the column that I would call the mainstays as Green Sun's targets within the deck, and then Tireless, Remnap, and Script Ranger being the sort of flex spots. But realistically, like, I think probably this column of 6 is probably where the flex spots really are. Not talking about the actual mana base, but flex slots within the actual non-land threats. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Deck's been doing really well. I don't think these changes are too big to change up that, so hopefully we'll go pretty well in this league, but of course you can't ever say that too early. But yeah, it's been really good online. I've found it to be pretty awesome. Graveyard hates are pretty fast. Graveyard deck, sorry. Any fast combo like Storm can also be pretty tough in regards to a good matchup. I think Maverick has a pretty good time against the FedEx, so over time Batterskull could really just show that it's a little bit overkill, but I really like it with Sylvan Library because the deck otherwise, outside of Night of Autumn and Scavenging Ooze, we don't have too many ways to gain life, so it's nice to be able to draw a few cards with Sylvan Library, then gain the life back and sort of redo the process. If you're watching from Australia, definitely check out mtgmate.com.au, who's actually sponsoring this channel. We do currently have 10% off with the code name Good Day, which is cool. So MTG Mate's been a sponsor since the beginning, which is very cool. Hopefully have some more cards on the way as well for giveaways once we hit 300, 400, and 500 followers. But yeah, definitely check out that site as well. Very cool site, very good buy list. I've definitely gone through a lot of my stuff to buy list through to MTG Mate. yeah, just good overall prices. Probably sound like a broken record, but I have found since Arena has come online that the wait process for queues on MTGO has been pretty bad. I had a friend wait up to, I think, 9 minutes for a match, which hopefully isn't what we're about to experience. And we're in. Which is very cool. Being a fair deck, I'd love to be on the play. But I think really any deck, of course, loves to be on the play. So not nothing new there. Hellenic. So 0-0. We would love to play first. This hand's okay. It's a little bit slow. I would have loved the Dried Arbor to be another land, and allowed us to actually Green Suns for it on turn 1. But I think I'm happy just to keep it. We do have 2 sources of mana, which is awesome. Next turn we can even Green Suns for a Noble Hierarch if we really want to. But I think I'm just happy playing the Dried Arbor and passing. It does, of course, open it up to removal, but at least that's not a piece going towards our Mother of Runes. Scalding Tar doesn't say a lot. So I think here I'm actually happy just to play the Verdant. Play the Mum. Play the Noble, and then even just fetch and play the Mum. We don't have any black cards in the main deck, so I'm happy here actually just getting a Savannah. And then passing back. Unless they might daze this. Great choice of basics. Definitely my favorite artwork. It's gonna resolve, which is nice. Edict. Interesting. I think I'm happy here just to get rid of the Dried Arbor. It helps the Knight grow out of bolt range, which is nice. The other 2 actually give me some sort of value. So happy to get rid of the Dried Arbor here. Ramo, second best ABU island. Haha, very funny. So close to being the first. So this does look like it's going to be Grixis control. So getting another land here would be really nice. Just so we can cast this Knight, or at least try to. Cradle would be insane. But I guess we'll have to see how we go. If we don't, I think Green Sunning we do, which is nice. I think just playing the Knight here is probably best. I don't think they're going to be a Daze deck, which of course we can see there, which is nice. Not going to attack. Strix is fine. We have the Qasali Primate to get rid of it, which is really nice. We can even attack, get the Exalted trigger, and then go through. So we could even Green Suns for Knight of Autumn, if we wanted to. By sacking a land, which I actually don't mind as well. I don't think in game 1 we're going to get too blown out by going wide by something like Toxic Deluge. So I believe it's fine if we want to actually do that. Probably getting rid of the Bayu. I think we could even do that anyway. So let's play the Qasali first. It's just gonna come down. So we'll attack first, and then triggers on the stack. We're gonna blow this up. So we get both Exalted triggers, which is really nice. We deal a ton of damage. It's nearly a 3-turn clock. And we have the Mum as well for backup, which is always nice. Most likely looking for something like Bolt and Fatal Push in the same turn, so they can at least turn the Mum offline with a Bolt, and then maybe fetch and Fatal Push the Knight. I think this matchup is pretty tough. They do have a lot of removal. They do have Planeswalkers, which D&T does have a little bit of a better suite of creatures to deal with Planeswalkers, like Phyrexian Revoker. I think they might actually have what I said, so they might have just gone to push them, but don't actually have... They want to Bolt first, then push. Thoughtseize is fine. Could be looking at Young Pyromancer. Or Gomag Angler. Yeah, wow, okay. A land here would be great. And it's a Windswept Teeth, which is just insane. So we can attack in and actually get big in this Gomag, because it'll be a 5-5 with the Noble. So we'll go straight to combat. Attack in with the Knight. So they're going to block, so I'm happy to fetch here. Just getting a forest. Then I'll become a 6-6. And then here we can really just try and Green Suns for another Knight. I think that's probably the best thing we can do right now to make another creature that can't be boltable, can't be Kolaghan's commanded, has to be Fatal Pushed. This also means we have 10 damage on board, which is really nice. Next turn we have lethal as well. We could Green Suns for a Noble Hierarch using 2 mana. We could then Knight, sacking the forest, getting a Wasteland, and Wasteland ourselves to make the Knight an 8-8, and then get 2 Exalted triggers. Of course, that doesn't play around some sort of bolt on the Hierarch before damage, before combat, and then maybe getting like double Fatal Pushed and bolted. But it's nice to see that we have that line there in case they tap out. Fatal Push, interesting. I think we'll protect the mum here. Because of course, if we go to protect something else, we might lose it. And yeah, they're just going to concede there. I might actually turn on the light. Wait 1 sec. There we go. Cool. So Grixis. I like taking out Teague. I don't think it's great. I'm not too sure how good Batterskull is, and so I think taking out a Stoneforge as well is pretty nice. I do like Zealous Persecution because it deals with Snapcaster Mages and Baleful Strixes really well. I'm happy to take out 3 swords because of that, and keep in 1 just in case there's a Gomag that we can't deal with. So we're taking out these 6, and probably the Ramanap. It's not that great. So that's 7 cards. So we'll be bringing in 2, probably the Chokes. 4, I like the Trophy just to deal with Planeswalkers. 5, I like the Gideon as well. 6. So let's have a look at what we've got when we take that out. We still have 1 more card, which is actually quite nice. I don't mind Thoughtseize, a little bit slow on the draw. Excavator just could be good enough. Probably have True Name. Maybe just a Spellbomb, just to interact with the graveyard and try to keep them off Gomag. We'll go 2 swords. We'll submit this. Could definitely take out all the swords. I don't think, with neither the Reliquaries in play, I don't think that Gomags are a big issue. It's just nice to kind of have them. We could have actually brought in 2 Thoughtseize over the 2 swords. I actually kind of like that. But it's always nice to get a game 1 against Grixis. It can be a really rough battle. Really grindy. And just the amount of sort of 2-for-1s they get with Baleful Strix or Snapcaster Mage, Kulligan's Command, Hymn to Turak, Liliana Last Hope. Oh, it's pretty insane. So it was nice that they had a pretty slow start. And just didn't really get to capitalize on sort of getting rid of small creatures and leaving the edicts for the bigger ones. Yeah, I think probably taking out the swords and putting the Thoughtseizers in was probably correct. I think these games I'm really just looking to make land drops. So I'm looking for like a 3-lander kind of start in my opening hand. A turn 1 Mana Dork would be great, but not always needed. So this sounds great. We have a turn 1 Dork. We have a Wasteland and Thalia for later on, which is nice. Scrib Ranger, great at getting a Baleful Strix. So let's use this Verdant for the Forest, just because the Windswept Teeth can get both basics. Just play this Noble Harrock. Most likely a target for Fatal Push or Bolt. It does turn on their Diabolic Edicts a lot better. And I think letting us to ramp is probably not the greatest idea. Interesting that they went for Underground Sea straight away. Maybe that means they have a light hand and they don't actually have the luxury of playing around with basics. So if I get untap, I'll be very happy. Be able to cast Thalia and Wasteland. Unless they're going for Hinder Turek this turn. Which they're not. Unless they went into Thoughtseize. No, Ponder, okay. So I think I'm just going to fetch up for a just a Plains. And cast this Thalia. So Thalia stops a turn 3 Liliana. It stops Snapcaster Bolt, stops Colligan's Command, which is awesome. It stops a lot of great things. Scrib Ranger also allows me to pick up lands later on and put them in hand in response to like a Hinder Turek if I want to actually discard more lands than I want the chance to discard something like another Reliquary or an equipment piece, which is nice. I wouldn't mind seeing a Strix. This could also just be a Gurmag. Yeah, wow. Okay. I do like Wastelanding here. And I think I might hit their black. I really want to keep them off Hinder Turek. I want to keep them off Liliana the Veil. So I'm happy with what we have here. I also might cast the Noble Hierarch rather than keeping up the Scrib Ranger. Another Knight seems really strong. I think we'll go to combat first. Attack for 3. I've already played a land for turn, so I can't scrib in. I might as well just jam a Knight. That's going to come down, which is nice. And then just pass back. Strix is fine, as we have the Scrib Ranger and the Sword of Fire and Ice. Interesting. They're allowing the trade. Which I actually don't mind. We have a backup Knight, which is really nice. Yes, this Knight is most likely going to get bigger next turn, but I don't really want to go down to 8, and it does take off all their pressure, which is really nice. However, we could also Wasteland them next turn. I don't mind taking this, actually. Yeah, wow, so here we go. We could even Cradle and then put Sword on it and swing, which I don't mind. So we have access to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Even more with Scrib Ranger. That also allows Scrib Ranger to untap Knight, which I really like. So let's go float a green, sack the forest, get Cradle, we'll play out Scrib Ranger, we'll then tap Cradle for 4, adding 5 mana. That gives us sort of Fire and Ice. 1 mana floating, we can now equip this to Thalia. Attack in for 5. Pretty happy to hit the Baleful Strix here. Draw a Swords, which is really nice. So we actually get to take care of the Gurmag this turn as well. Which might even just be game. So now we get to activate the ability by choosing Noble Hierarch. Return Forest, play Forest, kill the Gurmag. I can't think of too much with just 3 mana. I don't know. I don't think Wasteland is better. So let's untap this, returning the forest. We'll play the forest. And then we'll hit their Gurmag. They of course can't force it because we have the Thalia out, which is nice. And now in their upkeep, we can actually do it again. So that worked out really well. So now we get to untap the Knight by returning a forest. They might Fatal Push in response. They don't. Yeah, so this is going to concede because we can actually sack this Plains and Wasteland them again. So very happy to get it. Sheen, thank you very much for another sub. 5 months is a hell of a time, and I really appreciate it. Your sub actually went through to my microphone, which is very cool. So thank you very much for your sub. It's a pleasure to have you here. Hope you enjoy the content. It's good to win. It's good to start off with a win for sure. So let's update that score. So we're currently 1-0 and 2-0. Feels pretty good. I think Grixis Delver can be pretty rough, but it looks like they just didn't really have what it took. Stumbling on 2 lands is pretty rough. We did get the Wasteland in, so you can see the power of Wasteland there. But yeah, really all in on that Gurmag. Not really leaving anything for Snapcaster Mage or Colligan's Command to return. Maverick looking the goods. Maverick looking the goods, which is really nice. Look at that. Lewis CBR and Matt Olson. Matt Zoll at 10 trophies apiece. Yolanden and 8. Definitely will catch up. So many beasts on MTGO that just grind and grind and grind and get trophy after trophy. I mean, it's not easy getting a trophy. To get 10 and then have it all go away, there should be some sort of prize for people who actually stay on the ladder. We would love to keep this. Would we? Yeah, I don't mind this hand. We can get a turn 1 Dryad Arbor, which is really nice. We have a Swords for interaction. Let's go ahead with this. Do you rent cards on MTGO or do you buy them? So I actually bought this deck. But looking back, I'd actually probably rent. I think renting's a little bit better. Aurum 67, interesting. I think I want to actually fetch Dried Arbor here to turn on Fatal Push. I kind of want to Wasteland first and just kind of time walk myself. Not too sure what Aurum is on. I believe I've played against them before. Just gonna pass back. Most likely getting Dried Arbor end of turn, but we'll see what happens. Misty, okay. So still can't tell too much about the deck that I'm playing against. Most likely a mid-range-ish deck from what we've seen. Another Underground Sea, okay. LED, okay, so this could be Storm. And they could just be going for it. Shoot is pretty good with Past in Flames. Yeah, can't do too much here, sadly. Probably should have conceded in response to the Thoughtseize, but it's fine. And there's Tendrils. Alright. We do have a pretty good sideboard for this. So we can definitely take out the 4 swords. I'm not a fan of the Ramanap. I'm also a fan of dropping 2 knights. Script Range is okay in actually allowing us to use Mum twice. That's overkill. Let's take that out. I like Spellbomb. I like the Canonists. I like the Thoughtseizers a lot. I don't mind the Choke and the Zealous Persecutions. Dropping some more. I still like the Stoneforge package because it's a good out for Empty the Warrens. Geddington, thank you very much. Down a game against Storm, but we got up against Grixis Control at 2-0, which is nice. Night of Autumn's okay. It hits all their petals and LEDs, which is nice. Maybe 11 cards is overkill. Maybe the Spellbomb can come out. No, I do like it. I do like having Graveyard Hate straight away. Choke is okay. They're probably going for basics. I still like everything else. The library is okay. We can go pretty aggressive with it. Sword's nice. Jide can come out, of course. That's 61. Maybe go down to 1 knight. 1 knight, 1 tracker, 1... Yeah, I like this. I think this is pretty good. Choke's just a little bit too slow, I think. Let's submit this. Would love to play first. This hand would be great if we had a colored mana. If this was a one lander with something like a dual land or a fetch land, I'd be very happy to keep it because we have the bird. But I'm happy to mulligan this. We also have some pretty good turn ones in Thoughtseize, which we have here. We don't have too much else, but I think I'm happy just to keep this and see how we go. I don't really want to get under 5. Quisali on top is okay. We won't be able to cast it until turn 3. So I'm going to put that at the bottom, and we're going to fetch anyway. So we're going to fetch for a Bayou. Based on what we have in hand, that's what we can cast, so I'm pretty happy with that. It does mean if we draw into a white card, like Thalia or Canonist or Stoneforge, it's pretty rough, but I'm happy here to get the Bayou and Thoughtseize. I'm a little bit old school in that I like actually writing this down. So we get Notepad++ out. So Ponder, Preordain, Tendrils. I think it's really between the Tutor and the Tendrils, most likely the Tendrils, because we can actually eat it with Screws, which is nice. So Ponder, Preordain, Tendrils, Petal, Island. So we'll take the Tendrils. Island does mean this Wasteland's not going to do a whole lot, but they do have a slowish start, which is nice. There's an Island, and there's a Preordain. And it looks like they're just going to pass back. So what did they do? They put one card on their life, one top, one bottom. So here we can play out Screws, and then next turn we can Green Suns for Gaddock Teague. Ponder first is fine. I'm gonna wait one more turn, so we do get a turn out of this, which is nice. Savannah. I don't want to play the Savannah, because I don't want to play into Massacre, so I'll play the Cradle, and we'll see how this ends up. Gaddock Teague. We'll swing for 2. And pass back. So untapping with the Screws would be nice. We do get to start eating the graveyard for 3 a turn. We know they have another island, so this Wasteland's most likely not doing a whole lot. A little bit scary that they're playing out their Petals this turn. They might just have a bounce spell. Like Chain of Vapor. And they do. So they can, of course, return their own things first and then return the Teague. Which is pretty rough, but it was obviously brought in for a reason, and this is the pretty much exact reason. We will not. And now they should just be able to go off. Oh, empty, okay. Empty's not the worst. We do have some outs for empty, which is nice. But they are slim. It does involve Stoneforge. So we can cast Teague and Sword. Ah. Want to get a green. 2, 3, Sword. Then just pass back. We will be taking 14. Block here. Block here. I guess Zealous Persecution isn't out. We can try to draw into that. Caracas doesn't do it. So let's use this to equip. See if we can draw into Zealous Persecution, I guess. Not there, so that is just a loss. Sad times. So our current score is 1-1. So pretty rough. You can see how good Chain of Vapor there is. Not just to bounce a permanent that's stopping their game plan, but also to add Storm to the count, which is pretty amazing. I mean, it technically added an extra 3 Storm. Blue-Red Phoenix. Interesting. I think this hand's okay for Phoenix. It's a little bit slow, but happy to keep it. It's nice to have the 1 swords. Terramander, okay. I think let's play Forest and pass. Could also just play Savannah and pass. I don't know if they're a Wasteland deck yet, so I might as well just keep the Forest out and pass. I don't really want to be Wastelanded off this Savannah. Should I have 2 Phoenixes in hand? I have 1. It's pretty good. I think we're still happy here just to swords this Phoenix now. Two, 3, 4, 5 instants and sorceries in the graveyard. So definitely getting the Terramander up pretty fast. Wasteland's pretty good there. I think I'm happy to play a Noble here. I could have Wastelanded first, actually, to play around something like Bolt. Or even Daze their own Volcanic back to the hand. Okay. We can also Green Suns for Scrib Ranger, which is pretty good against this Terramander. Two, three, four, five, six. I didn't want to show Wasteland. I think I'm happy just to pass back and hopefully get this Scrib Ranger down next turn. Manamorphose also does it with Terramander, which is nice. Another Arclight's pretty good. This isn't game though, which is nice. This is 8 damage, which is a whole lot. Now we do need an answer for the Arclight. We are just dead to Bolt as well. Yeah. So against this deck, I obviously like Choke. I don't mind the Canonist just to slow them down. I don't mind the Surgicals. I think that's about it. We can probably take out the Galactig. We can probably take out Kasali Pride Mage. Knight of Autumn's still nice as a one-of. We can probably take out the Tracker and maybe one Knight. Everything else seems pretty good. Maybe Sylvan Library is a little bit too slow in a deck that plays Bolt and so many aggressive creatures. I think this is it. Maybe, yeah, of course one more. Maybe just a Knight because a lot of their creatures are in the air. It's not really how we want to attack them. I'd love to play first. This hand's fine. We'll keep this. Happy to go Forest into Noble. Next turn, swords around days, which is nice. We have Wasteland as well. Delver, okay. So I think I'm actually happy just to Wasteland and Stoneforge. Most likely just getting Sword. If only you could Green Suns for Priest. Yeah, Containment Priest actually seems pretty good as well. It does turn off our Green Suns, which is annoying. I think I'm happy here to get the Sword and get a bit more aggressive. Reveal Preordain, okay. Would have been really aggressive to Surgical at Volcanic if I had Surgical, but not too sure how many lands I have in hand, so would have been interesting. Scoos. I don't think I care about Scavenging Ooze. I think I'm happy just playing Verdant and passing with both Swords and Stoneforge up. I could play the Dried Arbor, but I kind of want to have both abilities. If they play Wasteland, I might not fetch because I want to get a Savannah. They don't, which is nice. I think I'm actually happy just sorting this. Stoneforge is a nice answer though with the sword. Maybe I'm more happy just to pass. Take it. Keep the sword for something else because this sword's going to kill it on the way back anyway. Hopefully. Could have brought in like Smash to Smithereens. Windsweep's nice. So I get to try to equip it to the Stoneforge first. Could have a Braid. Manamorphose. Okay. They could just also be digging, wanting to find something. Wow, okay. We'll definitely take care of this Delver with the 2 damage. I think I'm happy here just passing turn. Holding up swords with Daze mana, which is nice. Yeah, and obviously nothing, so we'll go back to the sideboard. I think I'll just keep it the same. There's nothing too much else that I would change. Yeah, I still like this a lot. Yeah. Let's run it back. This hand's cool. A little bit weak to a turn 1 Delver, but I think we'll be fine. Terramander, okay. Still just happy to go and get a basic forest. Play this Hierarch out. Most likely next turn play the Canonist, just because they are a Manamorphose deck. Although Thalia pretty much does the same thing and also taxes them. Bolt is fine. Another Hierarch's actually interesting. I could play the Hierarch out to play around Daze this turn. I think I am pretty happy here just to hit the Volk. I don't believe they're a Stifle deck. Play Noble. Nice. Another Volk. Another Bolt, okay. Really trying to keep me off mana. Another Wasteland. I think I'm happy here actually just to go for Thalia. Nice. Didn't get Dazed, which is really nice. They've already gone through 2 bolts as well, and Manamorphose gets a whole lot worse with Thalia in play. Double Delve was pretty good. Another land is really nice, but I believe here I'm happy just to hit their Volk, and then Swords a Delver. It's then quite possible that it's just better to attack here. Taking the 1 damage from blocking the Delver isn't really relevant. And it's most likely going to flip in a deck like this. Daze, okay. Passing with days up, okay. Green Suns. We'll definitely attack first. I think I still play the Caracas into Wasteland. I'll play the Canonist, because I don't want this knight to be dazed. Green Suns doesn't do a whole lot here yet. So I think, yeah, I'm happy just to play the Caracas. Play Canonist and pass. They are a turn ahead of us, so we do have to draw into something pretty good. Cradle would be insane because it allows us to Green Suns for Scrib Ranger. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. They can also flip the Terramander right now. Which just makes this lethal next turn anyway. Even if we find a land? Yeah. I don't believe we have anything. We can't even Green Suns for anything above 1. Just Terramander was too fast. I mean, I guess we can hope they skip their attack phase. That's really the only out that we have. You got me. So pretty rough. Just a little bit too quick for us. Not the worst matchup either. Like Thalia's, the Noble Hierarchs really work well around days. It's really just the lack of flyers that we have a bit of an issue with. At least DNT has Flickerwisp, which is really good. And a few other creatures. Remorseful Cleric if you play them. So that was pretty rough. But there's always another match. We will come back. Not with this hand, sadly. Another Wasteland hand, which is a bit of a mulligan. This hand's not great either, but we'll keep it. We do make our land drops. The Wastelands aren't really lands. I've done this before in a league where I have kept a hand like this. It didn't pan out well, but you know, it's not the worst. We'll put that on the bottom because we'll probably fetch for it. We'll see what we're playing against first. We'll play Windswept Teeth and pass turn. Delver, okay. I think I'm still happy here just to get a Dryad Arbor. I could have actually saved the Windswept Teeth for... I could have wastelanded them in my turn, and then if they attacked me before playing a land, I could have ambushed Viper the Delver if it didn't flip. Small issue, but I think we'll still just get the Delver. More than happy to Wasteland pass. It's not going to flip. Another delve is pretty good, but... So I think here we actually have to start making a move. I think it's worth attacking. They're most likely going to flip, and it's just nice to start the damage race, or else we're going to get too far behind. Wow, no flip. So that's nice. Oh, it looks like Grixis Delver, okay. Could have also Wastelanded and played the Noble. I think because I wanted to play around days for this Knight a little bit better. And just because I know that I'm going to have to need equipment to win this game, I just wanted to keep my lands around for now. There's a Bolt. Batterskull seems a little bit slow, especially if they have another Bolt or removal spell. Sword of Fire and Ice seems fine as a racer. Jide also seems fine. I think Jide is probably the go. And then take them off red again. Honda, okay. I mean, they could even play a fetch land and then Gurmag if they have it. That's probably worst case. This could just be it. A Bolt. Okay. I could play a Knight. It doesn't play around days. And then next turn I could swing in with the Dried Arbor. I could play the Jide around days and pass. I think I have to just play the... I think the Knight's the better play. It doesn't play around days. But it just does a little bit more. Next turn we can even play the Jite and also get Gaia's Cradle to equip it. This is where you can really see the difference between having a Vial and Wastelanding and not having a Vial. They could just play a True Name here as well. Yuck. So how much mana do we have? I think what I want to do is Green Suns for 2 for a Scrib Ranger. Tap Knight, get a Gaia's Cradle, and then we can play Jitte and equip it to stop them from just attacking in with everything. That doesn't work because we need First Strike, I believe. I mean, we might as well go for it. So we can Green Suns for 2. We can get Scrib Ranger. We can sack Scrubland to get Cradle. Play Jitte. Use Scrib Ranger's ability to... Oh! I can actually untap one of their creatures, can't I? Untap target creature. Wow, okay. So this is actually an out. So I can here untap Knight. Return the Dryad because they can interact with it more. Still have one floating. I can then tap the Knight for a Savannah. Get another Savannah. Or just a Forest. I could just get another Savannah. Equip Jit. Pass. And then next turn, if they swing in with everything, I can actually just block a Delver, untap one, and take 3 from True Name. Is that how it works? What do they have? Whew. That was a big turn. Ah, that's rough. Okay. Of course, yeah, Maze of Ith is a little bit different. So I don't think there's anything we can do here. Yeah, we can't even gain a life. I can at least try. So we'll see if Moto works that way. So we'll block here. We'll then untap this by returning the Savannah. It's still in red, so yeah, I guess it is still declared an attacker. Damage happens, and yeah. Okay. So Choke seemed great. Zealous seemed great. I think that's really it. We'll keep it basic. We'll take out Teague. We'll take out Quisali. We'll take out probably a Knight and Ramanap. Just go with this. This hand's fine. So I like using the Verdant just to get a forest and then green sunning for 0. Inquisition's pretty good. It takes anything, doesn't deal in 2 damage. Better than a Thoughtseize here, really. I think the Knight's most likely the more scary, because it turns into Wastelands and also a threat that goes out of bolt range. I think I'm actually just happy playing this Knight as a 4-3. It doesn't come out of bolt range, but at least it's using my mana the most effective way. Getting the Mum online is quite nice, of course, but it's a little bit of a waste of what I have. This is a Diabolic Edict. That should be fine. Bitter Blossom. Probably the one reason why I should have kept the Knight in in my hand. Noble's nice. I guess we might as well attack with both. Wasteland. I think it's worth taking them off black in case they also have like Liliana Last Hope to take them off double black. I think I'm happy just to attack with the Dryad Arbor. You get through 2 damage, which is nice. I think if I had attacked with the Knight, they would have blocked it immediately. So at least that works out in our favor a little bit. Zealous Persecution are also great against fairy tokens, and an Unflipped Delver for that matter. Young Pyro, okay. So Zealous was actually a great card to bring in, which is awesome. Jitte also seems really nice. So we'll definitely try to play that. Wow, and they have Force blue card. It does get rid of a true name, but it is a little bit annoying. I think I'm still happy with just attacking with the Dryad Arbor for now. That is fine. Definitely a trade I'm happy with, especially because Bitter Blossom is a clock for them. They have to flip this Delver pretty fast, or else they're not going to attack with. They're not going to be able to attack with too many creatures. Spell Pierce, okay. Good to know. Definitely means I can't tap out for something like Green Sun Zenith. Mum's pretty nice. It can definitely attack pretty freely as well because they have to block with at least something. Most likely just a Fairy Rogue. We know about the Spell Pierce. If they play a land, we know that the hand straight away. We're definitely getting to a stage where we can just give Pro Black and swing in with Knight. Another Mum's pretty funny. I think I'll give Pro Black. Nice. So now actually another Exalted trigger off the top does it. So does sort of Fire and Ice. But they are getting pretty close to just having us in flying damage, which is pretty rough. You can definitely see why it was incorrect to play the Knight of Autumn straight away. Marsh Casualties, wow. That's pretty good. This isn't looking too great now. Even sort of Fire and Ice isn't a live draw. Zealous Persecution is. Zealous Persecution is a win because we can still play around Spell Pierce. I feel like we need more Zealous Persecutions in this deck. Ghost Quarter will not get us there. Because they block with 1 and then just swing in for 5, so that's going to be game. Yuck. Alright, we'll go into this last one and try to salvage some sort of... respect, I guess. So we're currently 1-3 and we have 3-5. Haven't really had that many bad draws either. The sevens with just the wastelands have been rough, but it's really these go wide strategies where really maybe more Zealous up. Maybe Zealous could be a three of. I've definitely seen it as a 3 of, and I can see how good it is, especially there. Like there is game. It's damage down to 1, and then they die to their own Bitter Blossom, which is pretty sweet. All right, let's do this. Just a really average hand, sadly. Not too much to do. The fetch lane can't even get Dryad Arbor. So I think I'm actually happy mulliganing this. This is fine. Noble on top's pretty good, so we'll put that on top. Another Delver, wow. Maybe I should play the full 4 Scrib Ranger. No flip is always nice. Another Delve is pretty good. Hierarch, interesting. I think I'm happy playing out the Mum and the Stoneforge. We'll get Sword, because Trinan could be in this deck. Braid main deck? Okay, we're not beating that. Wow, Forkbolt and a Braid? That's a concession. That's rough. That's really rough. I don't think there's any coming back from that, especially with 2 lands and a Noble Hierarch in hand. So bring in the Chokes, we'll bring in the Zealous. I don't mind the Thought Seizers on the plate. I want to try them out. So we'll take out the Teague. We'll take out the Pride Mage. We'll keep the Knight in. We'll take out 2 more Knights. Maybe the Sylvan Library is a little bit too slow. Because we saw the Abrade, maybe Batterskull's too slow, so maybe we can also drop the Stoneforge and just keep this. I'm pretty happy with this. Would love to salvage a win, at least, against the Delver deck. This is a 1-lander, but I'm pretty happy on keeping it. So I think here we'll definitely just get basic Forest. And play out Noble. Nice, okay. Another Thalia is not great. Pretty happy to try to Green Suns for 0 here. Daze is pretty good. Won't pay for that. This is definitely the downside of keeping that. Yeah, that's really rough. Force is pretty good. I think if we miss a land here, it's probably just game, sadly. Yep, especially if we try to play out... I guess we can try to swords this. It's most likely getting forced, and then we're most likely getting wastelanded. Force pitch force, that's fine. Maybe it's worth going back to 23 lands. We have had some pretty rough hands, or it's been 1 or 2 lands, if that. A lot of 1-lander wasteland hands. Not great. True name's pretty good. Can we get a land and maybe get the Zealous off in a few turns? We can not. That is just game. So that is a 1/4. That is pretty bad. Which, you know, I don't think it's a reflection on the deck, which is nice. I think the deck's still really powerful. Where do we go for the deck list? Yeah, maybe it is a case of going back up on lands to 23. The Batterskull could very much be a sideboard card. We didn't really want it in any stages of that game, ever. If anything, we wanted more sort of Path to Exiles or answers to blue creatures. Turn 1 Delvers are just so good when they can back them up with, say, Dazes and Forces. But yeah, sadly, there was a pretty pretty poor league. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am going to call it there. Yeah, 22 does feel really thin. I mean, 4 of the 5 5-0 lists from MTG Goldfish were playing 22, so I was like, maybe I can skim there. But yeah, I think in a deck like this, where you really want to make all your land drops, and where your Green Sun Zeniths that is so good late game, it is worth going up on land drops for sure. So I might add in another Verdant Catacombs, and then maybe make the cut of the Batterskull and the 3rd Stoneforge, which gives me 1 more slot in the main deck, which is really nice. And yeah, something like even like a 1-of Trophy or Abrupt Decay in the main deck doesn't seem too bad. But yeah, I think 24 is just like that perfect point. But I have played 24 before, and the flooding was just something that I really didn't like. As good as it was to make every land drop, I was just drawing a lot more lands compared to creatures. And yeah, it was just not the greatest feeling. But of course, I think it's definitely worth trying again and seeing if I can tweak it, especially with something like Sylvan Library. You can always get around it with your fetch lands. But yeah, back to the drawing board. We'll see how we go. It's been Diggs on Twitch. Hope you've enjoyed my stream. If you have, definitely give me a follow. You can catch me on Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on Saturday mornings from 9:45 a.m. Also check out CBR MTG, who do legacy content in Australia. Really good guys. Angus does Sundays with a bit of a brew. Nick Fennell does Tuesdays with I think his pet deck is Elves, but he also does a few other decks, which is really cool. So definitely check out CBI MTG. Speak Dudes on Twitch. Thanks again. If you do need singles within Australia, definitely check out mtgmate.com.au. They currently have 10% off with their Good Day code, so make use of that. I believe until the 17th, which is cool. You might have seen them at GP Sydney with their booth, but that is it for me. Enjoy your week ahead. Hopefully see you on Saturday morning. Cheers.